All right, Aquarius, thanks for tuning in to your September of 2014 horoscope. My name is Athen, and this is, of course, for Sidereal Astrology, different from tropical astrology. If you'd like more information on that, please check out the description below, and if you'd like to also find out your sidereal signs. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and have a look at your chart here for this month. First thing that pops out to me when I look at your chart is you've got Mars going over your midheaven this month, going over into your 10th house, going in there on the 4th, along with the moon. The moon will go in there, and then so I think the very beginning of the month, you're going to feel it. You're going to start to feel like you want to start putting in some energy into your service, into being of service to others, your career, your vocation, whatever that is, whatever you're doing for the community, whatever you're doing to be of service. And then when Mars goes over that MC, which depending on your actual MC in your personal chart, may take time throughout the month until it goes over that part. But in either case, all of you are going to feel the 10th house energy of Mars. And so, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of positive changes in your guys' careers this month, or your vocations, your service work, and a lot of energy being used in that area. So for those of you who are involved in, I don't know, competitive sort of environments with your work, I don't know, corporate life or something like that, this is a really good time to get in there, and healthy competition, of course. Remember, I mean, ultimately, you're just competing with yourself, really. You're just trying to do the best you can possibly do. Any type of business, anything like in the competitive free market. In either case, wanting to achieve, wanting to get a lot out of your work. And Mars actually rules your 10th house too. He's going into Scorpio. He rules Scorpio. He's very comfortable in Scorpio. So you guys already have a depth to you, let's just say the least, of wanting to really, like a determination, of wanting to get down to the bottom of things. And that's what you're good at. That's how people see you. That's how the public sees you, and that's your extrinsic self. That's what you have to give. So really utilizing that Mars energy to really dive deep, get into the bottom of it. A lot of you have Scorpio type of professions like psychology, healers. A lot of you are healers. Anything that involves getting down like anything that involves dealing with secret information, or anything like that, anything dark, hidden, and below the surface, or just really getting down into the bottom of it intellectually for a lot of you, like accounting and stuff like that. But in either case, it's a beautiful time for your career. A lot of that positive Mars energy going into that this month, and that's going to lead you into October as well too. So I think a lot of you are going to be very busy in the career front of things, and there's not a lot of activity in your 4th house. So otherwise, I would say there would need to be some balance with the home life and stuff. But no, everything looks okay go for Mars. And interesting, Mars at the end of the month and into August is going to do a beautiful grand trine with Uranus and Jupiter. This you'll really feel next month. But this is all setting it up. It's all gearing up for it. So a new sense of freedom, a new sense of value, and feeling good about your work, what you've accomplished, is a potential of this. But you're going to want to do it. Just enjoy yourself. Enjoy putting in the work and putting in the energy. Healthy competition. Set those goals. Really great time to set goals in regards to service and career, etc. All right, enough on that. Let's talk about the full moon this month, happening on the 8th. Okay, full moon is happening in your 1st house. Your 1st house this month. So new beginnings. Anytime we have a full moon in the 1st house, it's a signification of new beginnings. And this is cyclical. This does happen around this time every year. And your ruler Saturn is a very slow mover, because Saturn rules your 1st house. So anything that happens to the 1st house, we can look at Saturn to get some more information. Saturn has been in your 9th house of life path. So new beginnings, it's that time of the year when you're feeling fresh, you got some new ideas. I think you're putting a lot of this energy into your career. But ultimately, your career and your path are very much aligned this month, because while that positive energy is going into your career, it's all coming from, or they're mutual, a brand new beginning in regards to your life path. A new path opens up for you this month. Saturn being in your 9th house, ruling that first house. So this is only, Saturn's only in a house for 2.5 years, so this only happens, 2, maybe 3 times, and they're very significant for the Saturn transit of that house. So use this new beginning. Use this new beginning to open up those doors. A lot of you are going to go down new paths. And with Saturn, it's about discipline. So it's paths, a lot of it's relating to work, and what you're doing, service work-wise. But in all areas, new paths opening up for you. So do pay attention around the 8th. Really tap into your intuition. The full moon is always loaded with intuitive insight and information. And energy too. The full moon is very energizing. This month starts with a lot of energy. Okay, a lot of creative energy too. We've got the Sun trining Pluto on the 3rd. So that's about wanting creative changes. And this is a month of changes for everybody, because Pluto, the ruler of change, is going station direct. He's been retrograde since the 15th of April. So I'll touch more on that in a bit. But coming out of the gates, a lot of energy this month. And I think for you, it's in regards to those areas I mentioned. Now let's talk about, let's go ahead and talk about that Pluto. Okay, Pluto is in your 11th. It's been retrograde. So over the past years, you guys have been experiencing a lot of changes in regards to the community side of things, or the group side of things. A lot of changes to your friends, a lot of changes with the community, neighborhood, collective, new ideas. This 11th house also rules technology. You Aquarians are really leading the forefront in these global changes that we're experiencing right now. Pluto is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is your 11th house. But Pluto is changing everyone's life path, has been changing everyone's life path, and you play a huge role in that. Your 11th house is that Sagittarius. Your 11th house is your selfless contribution. It's your role in the collective. So you guys are leading the forefront here. You guys are leading the way with all of this. And so a lot of your guys' community sort of associated things, or technology, or whatever you guys are doing individually, is playing an important role. Okay? It's playing a very important role in a lot of these changes. And over the past, since April, you guys have, a lot of you maybe taking a little bit of a break with a lot of that stuff, or reflecting and thinking about it, or actually, maybe it has been a busy month, maybe past few months since April in regards to that, but it's been about a learning process of how you can be more of service to the collective, and understanding your role. I think you guys are understanding your role a lot more. And speaking of that, when Pluto goes station direct on the 22nd, I think there will be a much greater understanding of your role in all of this. Okay? And it has to do with a lot of these changes in your values, with Uranus in your 2nd house. There's a contact there. Okay? A lot of these changes with Uranus, changing your values. You guys have been changing your values a lot, which is good, because things are moving fast now. Traditional values are good, but what's really leading this whole shift right now is these new ideas, these changes. And for you, it's these ideas on how what society needs. What do we need? What do we need of value? What can you provide? And there will be an insight on the 22nd around that of how you can be more of service, selfless service. This isn't 10th house like career. You're going to have your energy. Maybe they're one and the same. Maybe a lot of you, your career is what you're doing on a collective level. But in this sense, it is specifically about selfless service, just wanting to give. And it's insight, it's technology, it's whatever it is that you are contributing. So there's a lot of contacts involving Pluto this month too. A lot of aspects taking place. A lot of positive changes in those areas, in that area regarding your life path. Now, let's talk about the faster moving planets because it's all tied in. A lot of these aspects with Pluto are involving the Sun, Venus, and Mercury. Now, the Sun and Venus are in your 7th house. And so, with this kind of pause or whatever, with this reflection of your 11th group's related stuff, I think you guys are will develop and are developing some good relationships and finding out which relationships are meaningful to you. Which relationships are in accordance with what you're about. This is all signified with the full moon too, involving the 1st and the 2nd. Excuse me, the 1st and the 7th. So, in other words, you guys, this month are going to be developing some very close relationships. Relationships to you this month and into October, it's like the surface level stuff is okay, but with Pluto in the 11th, I mean, you guys want to you guys want some real meaningful relationships. You don't just want to just associate with anybody. It needs to be meaningful. It can be anybody, but it has to be someone who's also open with you and honest and wants to, share themselves. And then you are going to this month want to really share yourself. I think it's going to be more of October when a lot of, but this month too, especially the second half, wanting to really share your true self. And it's all tied into all of this. So sharing yourself is going to help you with your career this month. Being more open, more connected, and also with your humanitarian stuff that you're doing, the collective stuff. But in either case, relationships play a very big role for you this month. Venus will be transiting your 7th, enjoying that, connecting to others. Venus loves being in that 7th house, okay? Intimate connections. Mercury's going to be in your 8th, which is why I'm saying things are going to be more meaningful. You're going to want to express and communicate and interact in a more meaningful sort of way with those relationships. Okay, and it's all relationships. It could be romantic, it could be just friends within these groups, because it's very much tied into this. I think a lot of you are actually going to start working with a lot more people in the 11th house stuff. Now, speaking of that 11th house stuff too, I do want to mention that Jupiter rules your 11th. Okay, so with these changes here in the community stuff, a lot of it has to do with your self-improvement. The more you improve yourself, the more you're contributing to the cause. And you have, you wanting to, and a lot of you are really taking care of your health right now with Jupiter in that 6th, taking care of your routine, developing crafts. 6th house is crafts and skills. It's the work that we do on the day-to-day level with our hands. And using a lot of that positive craft, the development of the skills into these changes, into your work, etc., etc. Okay, and a lot of you are just in communities that are about health, about self-improvement, with the ruler of your 11th and your 6th house of self-improvement. A lot of your guys' jobs and service is about self-improvement right now. So it's going to continue to expand this month. Now, let's talk about the new moon. New moon's happening in your 8th house. So this is where things get real meaningful for you. The relationships get a lot more meaningful. You start to become more aware of what's behind the veil of life. What's real. And this is on the 24th. And it's again associated with your life path, because Mercury rules your 8th, and at this point Mercury will be in your 9th house. There's a transformation taking place for you this month. It's a transformation of the mind. Mercury will be going from the 8th to the 9th, which is a signification of the phoenix coming out of the ashes, and for you it's your mind coming out of the ashes. Okay, a phoenix rising. And channeling information. With Mercury in that 9th, a lot of this is going to be about channeling information, channeling divine guidance, listening to your higher self, listening to spirit guidance. And on the 8th, this is when this new insight, because new moon is always about insight, a new insight about you wanting to be more real, piercing the veil, seeing things for how they really are. And then that is going to unfold and awaken you to the true meaning of life. There's no words that can explain that. It's just a knowing, and it's an awareness, and there's an awareness there, okay? And the awareness is assisting you in all these other areas, okay? And this is setting the stage now going into October, when you will be becoming that phoenix rising up out of the ashes. Now, yeah, I think that covers it. Yep, that covers it. Aquarius, let me know if you have any questions. If you'd like a personal reading, please get in touch. This is just general with planets in the sky. If you'd like a reading with these planets and how they aspect your personal chart, please get in touch. All right, Aquarius, take care. Have a good month.